Good afternoon, fellow punters. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody near and far, friends, family, and even enemies on a day like this. Happy St. Patrick's Day and hope everybody enjoys it. It's just gone midday on Thursday. A slightly disgruntled Mickey D with you with selections for day 4. Disgruntled because of sort of the events of yesterday with the debacle with the rain and the watering of the ground the night before. I can't understand they done what they did if it was for the 4th day or maybe even into the 3rd day, but for the 2nd day I thought it was over the top what they did with the watering. Yeah, they said they had excuses that the weather forecast, they got it right, but I think it wouldn't have happened in the older days when Edward Gillespie was the clerk of the course. There's too much crack now going on with these animal rights crowds and everything, and they're saying that horses might have pulled out. Well, horses did pull out on account of what they did, so it's either Jackson or Johnson, you know. A lot of thought goes in to the process of selecting horses. Fitness of a horse is key, most important, then form and the going. Every horse that I pick or selected yesterday was on for good to soft and good in places ground. What turned out was soft and heavy in the latter. At least we didn't lose on 3 races because the trainers did the right thing and pulled out their horses. Some of the Irish horses could have been pulled out as well, but after travelling over and owners travelling over, they let them run. That hard races, I wouldn't be back running to back any of those in a hurry again. Brave Man's Game, Nobi Negra and McFabulous were 3 non-runners for us. We had a couple of places, Plan of Attack at 25-1 and Andy Dufresne. I thought he would have won that race without the rain. Given £19 to the winner was a big factor in that. Looked to be in trouble coming around the turn for home, but ran on to be second, and we had 2 in the each way lucky 15. We had them 2 placed and a non-runner. So of 17 pints running for us yesterday, I think it was just over 12 coming back. So not too bad. Could have been worse if we had those horses running and not getting anything back. At least we got the money back. I'll go into it again about the other winners, Energamine and whatever. But I want to just move on to today because I want to get out for the... there won't be any drink today, but maybe tomorrow. Just my usual start. Hello to newcomers Andy Howe, Zero Stringer, Mike Nugent, John Burton, John Gilbert, Rodney Rodway, and Moses Mahala all the way from South Africa. Brilliant to hear from somebody so far, and keep tuned in. George Duncan, nice compliment that came from his daughter Rachel. Hope we do better on say day 4. I revisited all the races on that last night, and I tinkered about with a couple of selections. The first race on Friday, day 4, is the Triumph Hurl. 2 miles, 1 furlong. 3 favourites in the last 10 years. Defi de Sol in 2017 was 5-2 favourite. Peace and Co was 2-1 favourite 2015. Tiger Roll won this in 2014 at 10-1. It was great to see him coming back safe yesterday on his finale, and it was just a pity that stablemate couldn't just finish a little bit behind. But anyway, I suppose Jack Kennedy couldn't do that, or else he'd be fined, and he went off favourite, like, so there was money on him. There were 6 Irish winners in the past 10 years of the Triumph. Quilixius won it last year. Only 1 mare has won this, but wouldn't have it won. That was Burning Victory. Wouldn't have it won, only Fergoshen fell at the last. On to the runners. Pied Piper was trained by John Gosden on the flat. It was rated 90. It won on soft and heavy, and it beat Vauban in Punchestown at the end of December on heavy ground. It then won in Cheltenham, beating a horse called Moco de Vassi by less than the distance that Night Salute beat him in the Adenoy, and Devassi was getting £5 of Night Salute and level weights with Pied Piper. Vauban next ran in Leopardstown, beating Fieldor comfortably on yielding ground. And it leads me in a roundabout way to Porticello as the selection, trained by Gary Moore, who may just finally get a bit of luck in the Triumph. He beat Magistrato in O'Toyle in a hurl race last April. And Magistrato came over then and ran for Paul Nichols. And it was rated 131, but it has regressed since then. Porticello is 3 for 4. His two best runs was on soft and heavy, and last time in the Victor Ladorum when hosing up. And Sky Cutter, that was second, was well beaten in the Boodles, but Forever William, who was just behind Piper, was further back. So that's, in a roundabout way, I came to that selection. It's 12 to 1, paying 4 places. It's a neat jumper. It has a good engine. Pint each way on that, Porticello. On to the county hurl. 2 miles, 1 furlong. St. Roy, 4 to 1 favourite, was the only outright favourite since Master Turn in 2000 to win. 6 out of the last 10 Irish trained, 3 by Willie Mullins. Dan Skelton has won 3 out of the last 10 as well. 4 6-year-olds, 3 8-year-olds and 3 5-year-olds have won it in the last 10 years. Since 1990, only 2 7-year-olds has won it. 2003 was Spirit Leader for Jessica Harrington, and Thumbs Up in 1993 for Nicky Henderson. And since Spirit Leader carried 11 stone 7 in 2003, only one horse has carried more. That was Arctic Fire in 2017. It was 20 to 1 shot for Willie Mullins. I'm going against the trends because 2 or 3 of them have won already, because the going has made it that I can likely do that. I done it in the Breeders' Cup. My nap at the meeting was a Japanese horse, because the Japs had never won it before. Edward Stone and Sir Gerhard has went against the trends, so I'm going with 7-year-old. Colonel Mustard, it's a novice. Lorna Fowler trains it, and it goes on good and soft ground and heavy ground. It won a maiden hurl in Galway on terrible ground at the end of October, after finishing 3rd in a grade 3 in Punchestown to Echoes of Rain, who is now rated 150 and was 5th in the Mayor's Hurl. Colonel Mustard was 2nd to John Bon in Ascot, and it was 3rd to Sir Gerhard in a grade 1. And 3 Stripe Life was 2nd in that, so the form stacks up. It's rated 140. Novices have a good record in this race. The jockey claims 3 as well. It's a 10 to 1 shot, so a pint each way. There's an outsider there at 66 to 1, Bua Boy. It was 13th in the Greatwood hurl of 136, and that was a very hot race. And it ran in Leopardstown last Sunday week, and I was up there at it, and handbrake fully on, out for the gallop, and it stayed on nicely up the stretch behind Whiskey Sour. It wasn't knocked about. It's 66 to 1, and it's back to 130 now, £6 lower. You might have just sent it over to get the mark beyond last in the Greatwood. They're paying 7 places. I think it's worth a £0.5 each way of a bet. On to the Albert Bartlett. 3 miles, a novice hurl, 19 declared. One favourite in the last 10 years was that Fisher's Cross in 2013, and to the 11 to 8 favourite for Rebecca Curtis and AP McCoy. 4 6-year-olds in the last 5 years, and 6 out of the last 10 winners have been 6-year-olds. 2 7-year-olds, an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. The 5-year-old was Noel Mead trained, Very Wood. Paul Carberry was on it. Long shots can win this. Vanilla Air won it last year, 14s. Morning price was 25s. There was 233 to 1 shots, and there was a 50 to 1 shot. Ginto is the favourite. Gordon Elliott trains, and it won a pint to pint for Gordon in October 2020. So he had it before it came. It never, it had it before it came for the National Hunt Rules. It was 2nd in a bumper first time out to What Do You Want, and What Do You Want was 3rd in the Ballymore yesterday. It won a bumper in Navan on heavy ground. It's 3 for 3 over hurls. It won the Lawlers and Ace Grade 1 in January. And that was won in 2021 by Bob Ollinger, in 2020 by Envy Allen, and in 2019 by Battle over Doyen. So proven stayers win that. So the step up to 3 miles is an advantage, I think, as well. Hillcrest is the best, the biggest English hope. It's a huge horse. It won a Grade 2 last time out. It beat a horse rated 124. So I think it's more of a future chasing type. It jumps sort of very clumsily, a bit awkward. And I think Ginto will have the turn of foot and get up the hill better. It's a 5-2 favourite, 2 points win. An outsider in this is Ballygriffincottage. It won 3 points, then it changed yards. And on his first run for Dan Skelton, it was third in Cheltenham to Blazing Cal. And Blazing Cal was sort of fancied and favourite for this race before it got injured. And then it won in good style in Lingfield last time out. It's 25-1. The bookies are paying a big amount of places. I think it's worth a pint each way. Leads us to the big race of the week. Isn't that next? The Gold Cup. 3 miles 2 and 70 yards, 351,000 to the winner. 3 favourites in the last 10 years. Linda won it last year. It's a 9-1 shot. Lord Windermere won it at 20-1 and Album Photo won it as a 12-1. 6 of the last 10 are Irish trained, including the last 3 years. Album Photo has won it twice, 2019 and 2020. Cato Star won it 2007, 2009, and Best Mate won it in the years 2002, 3 and 4. 3 out of the last 4 were won by an 8-year-old. 6 out of the last 10 was 8-year-olds. 2 7-year-olds and 2 9-year-olds. Galvin is 8 and Protektorat is 7. They're making their first run. They're having their first run, and so is Chantry House in this. All horses that have won it first time, won it the first time they ran in the Gold Cup, if you know what I mean. Except the horses that won it twice. So, Cato Star won it in 2007. He was a 7-year-old. Then he regained it in 2009. Album Photo was 7 when he won it. And Best Mate was 7 when he won it. A lot of horses have won it, and when you'd see them passing the finishing line in the Gold Cup, you'd say, well, they're going to win it again and again. Bobsworth, 2013, Imperial Commander, 2010, Dinman, 2008, Long Run, 2007, Sizing John, 2017. But whatever it does, that 3 miles 2, it takes a lot out of a horse. And they never go back to win it a second time, only the horses I've mentioned, or even regain it. Cato Star is the only one to regain it. And any horse that won it twice or 3 times won it first as a 7-year-old. Protektorat is a 7-year-old. I tipped this up on the other channel I used to be with when it was 20-1, and I've backed it at 20-1, and I've backed it for a syndicate in Dublin at 20-1 in each way bet. It was first time out in a toil in 2018. It was slow to get going over hurdles. It was 0 for 8. It's 4 for 7 over fences. It was second in Kelso last February. To Empire Steel, wasn't it? And then it won a Grade 1 in Aintree. It was second in the Paddy Power Handicap on their top weight to Midnight Shadow. And then it won the Many Clouds in Aintree over 3 miles 1 in a Hack Canter. He's the only 7-year-old in the field. He's a big improving, progressive, imposing horse. He's my selection for the race. He's still at 8-1. And because it's the biggest race of the week, I have to go with my biggest bet of the week. So either, you know, this is what I'm here for. And I'm going 3 points each way on Protektorat. Galvin won the National Hunt Chase last year. And I backed him and tipped him up for the Savills. He's an 8-year-old. He'll be staying all day. I'd have preferred the ground to have been a bit better for him. A horse that I like the heavy going is Royal Pagile. That's very much ground dependent. Ran in the Gold Cup last year, so that stat is against it. Manila Indo improved run last time, should go well. It was second in the RSA to Champ. It won the Albert Bartlett. Alputerred won the Betfair Chase in Haydock in before Christmas there in November. But no Betfair Chase winner has won the Gold Cup since Imperial Commander. I think Porticello won it prior to that as well. I'm also doing a tri-cast combination just for €1. I do it every year. I had it 2 years ago when Might Bite was second and Tony Martin's horse was third. And if I like two horses, what I do is I add the numbers together. 2 and 6 is 8, or 2 and 4 is 6. 2 and 6, 8 is my numbers this year. I'm doing a tri-cast combination, so that'll be Alputerred, Protektorat and Galvin. Best of luck to everyone on the big race of the week. The Fox Hunters Chase is ran in over the same course and distance directly after that. 3 favourites in the last 10 years. 4 out of the last 7 by a 10-year-old and 3 11-year-olds. Billaway was second last year, to second the last 2 years. He's a 10-year-old this year, fills the stats. Paddy Mullins riding well. He's my selection. He's 5-2 favourite, 2 points win. The Mayor's Chase, the second running of this. Kilreevy won it last year. I was on it at 16-1 early in the year. It beat Elimay. Elimay would be given £3 to Concertista in a handicap. It's getting £3, so it's £6 well in. I don't think Concertista is in the same vein of horse as Kilreevy was last year. It's a likely race over fences. They say it jumps a bit low, but I'd say it's what she's cute. She just uses up the amount of energy that she needs to use up. Mount Ida is rated a pound higher than Elimay, but she's better at longer trips like last year when she won, and going right-handed I think suits her better. She jumps right-handed. Elimay is a strong selection, 2-1 favourite, 2 points win. The Martin Pipe, the finale. Conditional jockeys, 2 miles 4, 24 declared. 1 favourite since 2009. That was Sir de Champ for Willie Mullins in 2011. 13 previous run-ins. 7 6-year-olds, 4 5-year-olds and 2 7-year-olds. The last 2 years was won by horses carrying 11 stone 9, and the previous 2 years was horses carrying 11 stone 10. Gallopin de Champ last year won it. It was carrying 11 stone 9, 11 stone 10. No, 11 stone 9 last year. Hollow Games is a 6-year-old. Is carrying 11 stone 9. It was bought for 255,000. It won a bumper first time out on heavy ground. Is 2 for 4 over hurdles. It was third behind Ginto in the Gnawlers of Naas Grade 1, and it was third to Manila Cocooner in the Dublin Racing Festival. That's a 7-1 shot, 2 points each way. Langerdan was second in this last year off 130. It's running off 137 this year. Better ground was suited better. So that's my selections for day 4. I'll put them up in the description. I want to get this into the uploading oven and get it up in the evening. Couple of selections that have gone for today. I see Mr. Fogpatches is 12s into 7s, and Grand Paradis is 10s into 6s. Impervious has drifted out to over 20s. Brandy Love is out, of course. Great first race. It's on now in a half an hour or 3/4. Money for Dunboyne. If I had to do the video again, I would have picked Dunboyne, a strong each way selection. It was 8th the other day. The heavy ground and suited. It was 5th. I catching 5th in a qualifier earlier. So anyway, I'm not as confident about today's selections as I am. I'm more confident about tomorrow because I rejigged a few of them and I had to restudy it last night. I just want to thank everybody for paying such nice compliments and comments all through the week. I'd also like to thank everybody that viewed any of the videos, and I'd thank them if they could subscribe, people that didn't, and spread the word around. We want to get up there. I've over 350 now. I want to get up to 1,000. So help me do that. Thanks very much, and I appreciate your attention all the time. Let's bash the bookies if we can, today and tomorrow. More so tomorrow. I'll be back maybe Saturday morning. I'm going to the rugby match on Saturday, Ireland and Scotland. So I won't have too many pints. I'll have none today, and I might have a few tomorrow watching the Gold Cup. Over and out. Mickey D. Bash the bookies.